Scotia living, and it's 8:32 in the morning. I've been up for about a half hour or so. Oh, I lost my hair elastic. Fell out. Had to get another one. Anyways, I'm just gonna make my coffee. It was unplugged. I don't know, my husband must have been charging something last night. Unplugged the Keurig, so just need to start it back up again. But today is Friday, and yeah, Friday. Let's find the President's Choice Colombian. That's what I'm having today. Sometimes we get the Costa Rican, but it's Colombian today. There. Yeah, today I don't really have any big plans. Like, it's not raining out now. I'll turn you guys around after I have you up on my selfie stick. I do want to make some cornbread today, and I need to try to talk to my Uncle Matthew today, because I need to make sure before I make that cornbread, he still wants me to make the cornbread dressing for tomorrow. Because I don't want to make it if he doesn't want it. And then I got my mind rolling. Can I make cornbread and freeze it? And then when I make cornbread dressing at Thanksgiving, I'll just defrost it and make it out of that. I might look that up, because if I'm going to make cornbread, I might as well make a whole bunch of cornbread. Now the cornbread, I watched Cooking with Carolyn's recipe yesterday on making sausage and sage dressing. I think that's the one I used before. I know I used her cornbread dressing before, like for dressing. Because you can make sweet cornbread, I guess, and not so sweet cornbread, like more of a savory cornbread. I'm no expert on cornbread, I'm telling you, but anyways, she used hot Italian sausage in hers sage dressing, so I was thinking I'd get that little tube of dressing that I usually get when I make my potato dressing, but I'm going to use some of that hot Italian sausage, because I think that would be tasty, tasty. So anyways, Evie's here. He's out there now. He's out in the TV room. I just put Paw Patrol on. He's bumbling back and forth. Of course, this needs more water. I swear, it just does it to me. Now it's not going to work. Son of a bee's nest. Anyways, I'm going to have to fist fight with this coffee machine, and then I'll be back in a little while. Probably going to read some comments, try to respond to a few comments, as long as Evie's cooperating with me. He's a good boy. He's out there just doing his thing now, but son of a... Yeah, I'll be back in a little bit. Alright friends, I just finished my coffee. It was delicious today. It's delicious every day, but some days it just tastes good. Oh, yeah! There he is! Say good morning, Evie. Say good morning, Evie. I responded to a lot of comments. I'll probably finish them before I get up, but oh, I'm feeling like bacon. I'm really feeling like baking. Not bacon. Baking. Or maybe bacon. You know what I'm saying. I don't think I can hold back. I think I'm gonna get my straps on and get in the kitchen, get my hand in some dough. So yeah, I'm gonna finish this, go wipe my table off. My kitchen's straightened up. I just need to empty the dishwasher and load it back up from a few random dishes. And then we're gonna get our bread making on. Say cheese. Say cheese. Oh, he's full of beans and wieners today. All right, we'll be back. All right, friends. I'm trying to find a place where to put you, because Evie's buzzing around. I can't sit you on my chair like I usually do. So, hey! You're up on my wood stove on top of one of my pressure canners on the tippy top of my selfie stick that turns into a tripod. So that's what we're going to have to do. So, oh, where's my lid? I don't know where that is. Let me get my apron on. So, I've devised a little bit of a plan. I've got my Nova Scotia Living apron on. My mother and sister-in-law and some family ended up getting this for me over a year ago, which was absolutely lovely of them. They certainly didn't have to, but it was so nice of them to believe in me. They believe in me, so. Now this recipe, I think my very, very first YouTube video was making this recipe. It's a 4-loaf bread recipe. I got it from Big Mama on YouTube. What are you doing with that, babe? And then I made a remake of it because the quality was so bad, but they're still on there. But it's a really good recipe. It really is. Heavy. I'm going to have to wash those now. Those are my cooling racks I've got out. I'm just getting 4 cups of, well, I turn it on hot water because my water is hot, but it's not scorching hot. And I put 4 tablespoons of active dry yeast in here. So I gotta let this proof a little bit. That's 4 cups, isn't it? Yeah. I tried to be all professional and measure everything out. So I got my salt, my sugar, and my oil here. He's throwing that big pink ball around in here. That's why I didn't add. You get to see? He's throwing that around. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of the sugar. It takes half a cup of sugar. Just a little bit in here, not all of it. To feed the yeast. Then I have the oil and the salt and the flour and the guns. But I'm going to let this sit a little bit. I should stir it a minute. Evie, you little monster. You're a little monster. The kids are all still sleeping. Messiah actually just came down, so she's not sleeping. You skedaddle there, Buster. So yeah, we'll let this proof a little bit, and then we'll get back. I think I plan on doing that teacup bowl tonight. Oh, just a minute, guys. I'll be right back. I'll finish chit-chatting in just a bit. All right, friends. Let this proof for, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. You can see how it's kind of puffed up. Beautiful, beautiful. And he's under my ankles. But yes, I'm doing a teacup mail thing, chit-chat, yak over the kitchen table thing today. I'm not sure if I'm going to put it in this video or just do a separate video with that, but I guarantee that's going to be up before this video. I'll probably do it all in the same time if I can. Or maybe get this one up tomorrow morning, like Saturday morning, and do the teacup one tonight. But I can just feel this is going to be a long one, chit-chat one. Bread making, dough making. Yeah, I should say I'm making 4 loaves of white bread, or I'm thinking of making 2 loaves of bread and make the other 2 loaves into rolls. I've never done that before with this recipe, and I'm thinking I could just bring some rolls to the barbecue too, maybe. I don't see why it wouldn't work. I usually use a different recipe when I make rolls. Abby, simmer. Anyways, I'm just gonna add the sugar to this. No, Abby. And I'll mix it up. So yeah, I could get a little pan or 2 of rolls, and I'm making the loaves of bread because I need to make some breadcrumbs in the oven, like chop it up in breadcrumbs. I'll do that tomorrow morning because I don't plan on making the actual dressing until tomorrow. I just wanted to get the breads and stuff ready for today. That's the oil. I have salt here, but I'll add that in a minute when I start adding some flour. Some of you might know salt kind of hinders the yeast. If you put that in with the yeast right away, it'll stop it from doing its thing. So this tastes like, My book says 6 to 9 cups, and that's generally, it's closer to 9 or 10 cups. Evie, Oliver, Gerald, you better pick that up. I don't want milk on my floor. It's going to get all sticky. You take that on out of here, you little monster. Skedaddle. The kids aren't up now. They'll be up soon, so. Anyways, I washed my hands really well because eventually I'm going to have to get my hands into this dough. And I wish you guys could be a bit closer to see this, but we got a little holy terror here on our hands, but he's lucky he's so cute. So, yes, the smell of bread making, baking in the oven. Oh, it's so good. I've missed it. I've missed it. Eddie, pick that up. I don't want milk on my bench. I gotta make sure I don't lose count. So this is 3, 4. Eventually, when it gets too hard to stir, that's when I'll hold it out on the table. But I did wash my table really well. That was 4, I think. Just mixing up. I have done this in my food, KitchenAid, my Cornelius. But it takes so much flour. When it's kneading, it almost swings over the top of the edge of it. And this is a good chance to get my hands into some dough and stuff. So if I was doing any smaller of a batch, he would be good to go. 5, 6. And sometimes the amount of flour in this fluctuates. It depends on the time of year you make it, the humidity, the flour you have, the whatever. I think that was 6. Starting to build up. I'll see if I can bring you over, and then I'll put you back because I like talking to you face to face. But this way you can see. I want you to be able to see what the dough. Before it was just really liquidy. Let me see. You see that? The sun's kind of blocking us too, but what you gonna do? Well, I don't want you to fall into my dough. Oh, for heaven's sakes. What's going on here? There. Was that 6? See how it's kind of starting to thick up. 7. I used to make this all the time. No, right off the bat, like I had to get my book out because I haven't made it in so long. But I'd make this at least once or twice a week. And it's really not hard to make. It just takes a little time, but you guys know what my days are generally like, especially during school. Kids go off to school, I have to tackle stuff around here. So if I can whip this up in 15 minutes and let it rise for an hour and bring it back. 8. Oh, it's getting harder and harder. That's what I'm saying. You need some guns for this. Yeah, I'll probably get it out on the table. You gotta knead this until it's really easy to hold, not very sticky. Oh, I forgot to add the stinking salt. For goodness sakes. I'll knead that in really good though. Suppose it's not going to hurt it if you don't put it in there, but it just needs a bit of balance with that sugar. This isn't sweet or anything. Just all balances out nicely. But yeah, I'm going to try to do the 2 loaves I usually do into some little bread rolls. Why not? So that's 8 cups. And you end up kneading in some more flour anyways. Now let me see here. Oh. I'm trying to get you positioned. Evie, no, that's danger, hon. That's danger. Danger, danger. jeepers, that's ear piercing. Jeepers creepers, he'd set off an alarm somewheres. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Yeah, they're still, see, it's so sticky right now. I'm gonna throw a little flour on top of it too. So this is where it gets finicky. Like you might end up needing in an extra cup of flour or two, like depending on. Evie, don't you dare. Don't you dare. He was about to grab you guys by the selfie stick. Oh, I'll get the rest of that out in a second. I gotta get some flour on my hands because it gets it's really sticky at first. And I'm gonna have it all stuck all over my hands. So I don't know why I try to prevent it, but oh, it feels so good. So good. Now, Evie. Oh, are you a fuss budget? Are you a fuss budget? Oh, it feels like a baby's bum. A little baby's bum. Yeah, and we need this until it's nice and smooth and easy to work with. Evie, you need to skedaddle. Skedaddle. What's Chase doing? What's Chase doing? Oh, I think you woke somebody up. I can hear him upstairs. Maybe it's Maze. It's probably Mally. Hard to say. Do you guys like making bread? Do you make bread? I remember my grandmother, well, both of my grandmothers did. Oh, that's Mally coming. But more so, my grandmother, my mom's mom, my Finnish grandmother, she lived in the senior apartments just not even half a block away from Mom and Dad's house. And she would always make coffee bread and rolls and things.
What are you making?
I'm making some bread.
Normal bread?
Normal bread, yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Abby.
I'll get some of that stickiness. Can you get him a little snack or something? Because he's got his nose out of joint. There's one of those little applesauce pouches up in that box. You might want one of those. He seemed to like those at the lake. And just take it out to where you're going to be sitting. Just while I get this done. Thanks, Mally. Yeah, anyways, she would always make stuff and it was just her, like, so she loved to bake. So she would bake and always bring it over to us, our house, because it was like my brother and sister and me and Mom and Dad, and at Christmas she'd make a whole bunch of different sweets and Nanaimo bars, and oh, she'd always make cinnamon buns. They're so good. So good. What, hon?
My hands are all creamy. I can't open it.
My hands are all doughy. I don't think Evie will care. There's no raw egg in it or anything.
It's
there.
okay, baby.
You take him out there for me? Go with Mally. Oh, he's not being bad. He's just wanting some attention. Yeah, let's see. When you need it, it goes good for a little while, then you can start feel it getting sticky. You don't want it to get sticky. So this is where, I can't really say exactly how many cups, but after about 8 cups, that's when I dump it out on the table. Yeah. So, yeah, the cornbread dressing, I keep going on about that, but I've watched, I know I use Cook them with Carolyn's cornbread stuffing dressing. But then I got a recipe. The channel used to be called A Mouthful, but I looked it up last night, and it's Tamika something. I'll make sure I put it down below tomorrow when I do the recipe. She made a chicken cornbread dressing. But then I got some inspiration from Marriage and Motherhood too, Thanksgiving prep, because she makes a dressing too. So that's how I work. I don't get one specific recipe for really anything I make. I just get little bits from here, little bits from there, and kind of make it my own. I'm not going to claim it's my recipe, but I get the Cole's Notes or the skeleton of a recipe and then just tweak it a little bit here, a little bit there. Now, and it seems to work for me for the most part. Not everything works out, but for the most part. But if it doesn't work out, that's a perfect opportunity to learn from your mistakes, because you'll just know not to do it again. Yeah, and then after this is done, I need to bake this in a cold oven. I don't plan on making the cornbread till later this afternoon, because that's not hard to make at all. And I was reading some comments, I guess for the most part, I think it was Sherry that said they don't use Jiffy cornbread mix in the South so much, because I guess it's sweet like cake. I don't know, I've never had it. And honestly, I've never had cornbread dressing until I made it. And that was only 3 or 4 years ago. We always have potato dressing here in my house. Now, I think my mother-in-law makes like a bread dressing, but cornbread dressing, I don't think so. And I made it because I was watching YouTube, and it seems like cornbread dressing is, really popular in the United States. Maybe it is here too, but just not in my circles, you know what I mean? Like, not in my goings-ons. And anyways, I made it one year, and people seem to like it, so I've been making it ever since. But I only make it when it's a special occasion or something, so. Getting a little more. So I didn't realize how much I do enjoy baking until I was an adult. Of course, as a kid you like baking with your mom and stuff, but to actually create something new, like a big something new, get your hands in it, clean hands that is, I feel like I'm channeling my ancestors, like I really do. Because yeah, a lot of these recipes that I make are just me trying them. Nobody taught me how to do it except for seeing it by example on YouTube or something and trying it. That's what this was, and it worked like a charm. I had never made bread by myself before, ever. And I don't even ever really making it with, like, my mom didn't make bread. She'd make like loaves of, banana bread and cranberry something or other, Christmas cake and stuff, but yeah, I don't know why I started making it, but I wanted to try to make it, and my kids loved it, and I've been doing it ever since. So funny how things in life work that way. Oh. Well, this is almost done. I don't want to add too much more flour. And then we gotta let it, I'm gonna grease the other bowl like this, because this still has some sticky stuff in it. And just cover it with a towel and put it, what I usually do, I don't know if I'll have to do it today because it's summertime, but if it was the winter, you have to put it in a warm place. I would put it in the oven with just the oven light on. Don't turn the oven on, but just the oven light, and it just makes it warm in there. But I mean, it's summertime now. I could just leave it out on the counter and it'll do its thing.
He loved it.
Yeah, he liked that. Yes, the other day when we were at the lake. Are you full of apple sass?
Oh, he's gonna be extra sassy.
Okay, let me get that other bowl. Go with Mally, she has something. Oh, there's your bottle. Yeah. There it is. I'll just put a drop of oil in here. You just don't want the dough sticking to the bowl. So that's a big old hunk of dough. Hunk of burning love. So this is going to double in size. It's going to look like a great big mushroom. So, yeah. Let me get a clean towel. Yeah, I think this video is going to be a baking whole lot of chit chat video, and then we'll have a good pot of tea. A good pot of tea later on this evening. I just might put it in a different, like a separate video, but I'll put that up before this one. I'm gonna clean this table off. Just a minute, Evie. You're not going into my cupboard. No, you're not. No. I'm gonna have to get the dough back out on the table, but it won't be quite so messy. But kneading like that, it gets real messy there. So I'm gonna clean that off and set the timer for an hour, and we'll just let that dough rise, and I'll be back. All right, I washed that big bowl, the first one, so it's all nice and clean. But I think I forwarded Cooking with Carolyn's recipe to me last night, so I think I'm going to write it in my book. This is a book that I write recipes in that I do make, not just ones that I want to make. I have to make them a couple times before I write them in there. Like that's the bread we're making today. That's the Finnish pulla or coffee bread. What is this? That's the hamburger buns from Noreen's Kitchen, and you know, just things like that. So I'm going to put the dressing cornbread recipe in there, and I'll probably put like the sausage cornbread dressing in here, but not right now. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do now. All right, there it is. There it is. I'll write the other recipe tomorrow when I'm about to make it and have all the stuff. And Evie's still keeping me company over there. There he is. I would actually start making this now, but I need to make sure I have enough milk. I don't have buttermilk, but I just add a little vinegar to milk and it kind of curdles it up like buttermilk, and that works just fine. But I want to double this recipe because I want to, if I'm going to make it, I want to make it enough. And I did check, let me turn you around. I did check if you can freeze cornbread, and you can freeze cornbread, and you can freeze cornbread dressing. They suggest if you make cornbread dressing to freeze it after it's baked. Don't bake it while it's raw because the egg in it. So yeah, that's kind of exciting because maybe I'll do that. I'll have to go to the store today though, because I need to get some ingredients and I want to have everything here for tomorrow when I actually assemble these dressings. But I would get enough ingredients to make my cornbread stuffing for Thanksgiving, because here in Canada, I know I've said before, but if you're new, here in Canada, our Thanksgiving's like the first week of October. So just like a month and a half away, something like that. And I love Thanksgiving. Love it. It's the one meal that I host a big meal. Like at New Year's, I have a little Chinese dinner, but my Thanksgiving one is when it's the big one. So I make a whole bunch of food. So if I can make these two dressings ahead of time, that would be good. Or at least make the cornbread. I might do that just do the cornbread. And that way I can make the dressing when it's Thanksgiving morning or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But if I'm going to double this recipe, it takes 2.5 cups for one batch of cornbread. Now, it makes a big batch. I think it makes 2 pans. I think he's over there having a poop. He's grunting and groaning. But if I'm going to double this recipe, I need 5 cups of milk, and I don't think I have that, so I might have to make this after, even though I have the time now. But I don't want to go to town now. I'll go to town when he's asleep for a nap and get everything then, because my husband's gone, but my kids are here and my teenager's here and stuff, and he'll nap for an hour or two, so I can zip in there and zip back out. So anyways, yeah, I'm feeling extra charged from getting my hands into this dough. It's amazing what it can do to a person. But I haven't peeked under the thing, but you can see that's starting to poke up the towel. Seriously, it's going to look like a giant mushroom. And if Misha's up, she'll be the one to poke it down. She loves that. Now, Mally likes to cook, but Misha loves to deal with dough. She might be a baker, and Messiah just loves food. She hasn't really shown too much interest in getting her hands in the kitchen, but I get her to help sometimes. She likes peeling vegetables and things like that, so I'm really determined to get the kids in the kitchen this coming Thanksgiving, speaking of Thanksgiving, to get them to help out. Not that they ever refuse to, but I want them to feel like they're taking part and they're part of this process too. And to remember, you know, it's a team effort. It's our whole family doing this, and yeah, that kind of thing. Anyways, yeah, the table's cleaned off. The bowl's ready to go. Evie's being a superstar, and there's still like 40 minutes left for that to rise. So I might go around and see if there's laundry to do, you know, that kind of thing. And I'll be back. I was starting to write down the ingredients of the cornbread dressing, and I realized she doesn't put breadcrumbs in hers. Hers is just straight up cornbread, but on Marriage and Motherhood, she made some breadcrumbs. So I think I'm going to make the breadcrumbs anyways and put a little bit in this sausage cornbread dressing. But I'm going to make a chicken cornbread dressing too. And she doesn't, or she does put breadcrumbs in, I believe. I gotta check, but for the sausage dressing, she puts down 3 tablespoons of Grand Diamond seasoning. And I don't have that. You gotta order it online, I think. And I just looked up the ingredients. There's like cumin and pimento and celery and salt and pepper and, you know, things like that. So I'm just gonna wing it, and it's a Caribbean, I guess, seasoning, according to the website, but I'm just going to wing it. So what I might do is toast those breadcrumbs in the oven and season them up real good with some spices, and then add those breadcrumbs to the cornbread dressing. So that can be equivalent to maybe the Grand Diamond seasoning. I'll just season it up with whatever I want to season it up with. I do have cumin. I do have, you know, other things. Or I could just throw some Tony's on there and have it a little spicy. I think that would be good. I don't know why it wouldn't be. It just adds a bit of, some Cajun seasoning or something. We'll see. I don't know. But I'm making a grocery list. I need some sausage, chicken, celery, onion, bell pepper, sage, eggs, milk, butter, cream of chicken, and cream of celery, because I put those cream of soups in the chicken recipe that I've done before from that A Mouthful. Tamika Rochelle is her name. Is what her channel name is now, but I'll make sure I put that all down in tomorrow's video when I actually throw this stuff together. So anyways, yeah, 2 minutes left. Misha's in the bathroom now washing her hands because she's going to be my dough poker. Right, the timer just went off. Look at this big puppy. Ooh. Just wait, Misha. I'll bring it over to the table. Misha's all washed up. Sleepyhead got up. Say good morning, Maze. Oh, and you too. So anyways, Misha's going to poke it down. I'll get you guys set up. That's the best part, isn't it, Mish? All right, go for it, Mish. Ooh. Oh, you'll do it next time, I promise. You remind me, okay? It's like poking on a pillow, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't like punching.
Wouldn't it be cool to have a bed made out of that? All right, easy. We don't need to be mean to it. All right, that's good, guys. That's good. Perfect. Oh, okay, that's good. Oh, yes! All right, friends. Evie's got a little teeny tiny piece of dough on his fingertip he keeps playing with. But this is all done. I'm just going to put a little bit there. Oh, I got to get my scraper that I washed. Just so it doesn't stick to the table. We'll see. But since I greased it, it should come right out of the bowl for the most part. Maybe a little bit that didn't have the oil on it. It's a thing of beauty, isn't it? It's warm. Feels living. Okay, I'm going to try to divide this as best I can in even amounts of 4. We'll see. Is that right in the middle? Debbie, what are you doing? Playing with those painted rocks on my kitchen windowsill that goes into the porch. Well, the rest of this can be for rolls. I'm not going to need a whole bunch of breadcrumbs for my dressing. So they'll probably have enough to have a slice of bread. That's going to be for the rolls. I'd rather have more rolls because there are going to be more people. I just break out my rolling pin and roll it out and then roll it up and poke at the ends. I don't roll it out like pizza dough, but just squishes out some of those air. No, Eddie. Jeepers creepers. Oh, I'm so mean. I know. I'm a meanie. Just to pop some of those bubbles. There it is. And then I just, no, that can go a little bit more. You can hear the air bubbles squeak out. You get some of those out. When you bake the bread, it doesn't have those big hollow spots in it. Then I roll it up. Yeah, this one's kind of thin. But it's going to puff up. I poke the ends in. Just kind of squish it together. Pinch it. Poke it and prod it and pinch it and just make it work. And like I said, I'm going to end up cutting this up so it doesn't have to be all fancy and perfection, but it's homemade and I know what's in it and it's good to go. Here's one. So I greased these. I forget if I told you that. I'm thinking I'll get one of these pans and maybe that out of that bread dough for the rolls, maybe. And I mean, I could have froze this bread recipe. I've never done that before, but I just know, I wrote it down in my book when I took the recipe. Before we let it rise this time, after you mix it, that's when you put it in an airtight container or wrap it in saran wrap tight and put it in a Ziploc bag. And but just put it in the freezer, and then when you take it out, you just let it defrost and do its rise and then continue on just like we're doing now. So when I go on my big baking marathon, this is one of the recipes I want to do. You see how quick and easy that would be. Just mixing it up and kneading it for a little bit. And then I'd have, if I did 2 or 3 batches of this, I would just leave it in a big ball, or maybe divide it in 2 and divide it and freeze it into 2 pieces, because I might not need 4 loaves of bread at a time. I don't need that now. Yeah, and then I could just pop them out of the deep freezer when I needed them. Let me see here. Now I'm going to sit down and do these rolls. I'm tired of standing. Tired of standing. My husband, when he got back yesterday, I had 3 cabbages in these bags there. Because you guys know what we're going to be making. Well, he's going to be making. If I get a chance today, I'll decase those. I have 2 packages of sausages in the fridge. I could decase them or something, but I might just let him do it. Oh, I hear my teenager. So I'm just going to take, I forget how big, I haven't made rolls in so long. Just kind of pinch them under. I've made like those pull apart kind butterfly ones before. I've made the clover rolls before. All different kinds. These are just going to be straightforward bread dough rolls. And we'll see what I can do. It's good bread, so I would assume they'd be okay rolls. It's going to be at a barbecue with a whole bunch of other food, so people can sop it in whatever sauces or whatever. Dip it in whatever salads. My hands are good and clean, guys. When I work with dough, I need to use my real hands, not gloved hands. You just need to, I find. And we're going to let this rise for about a half hour again, and then that's when we stick it in the oven. Bake it for 20 to 25 minutes. I forget if I've made bread in this oven that I have now, so I'm going to set it for 10 minutes, and then I rotate the pans and stuff, because I find any stove I have has hot spots in it. I might need more than these pans. I don't know how close I should put them together. We'll see. Yeah, I gotta rotate the pans because I don't want part of it to be overdone and the other part be just right or underdone. They're finicky beasts. That's what they are. You just learn to work with them. What's he doing, Mish?
He's trying to pull Dad's clothes off the chair.
You little turkey monster. You're a turkey monster. So yeah, I would have whipped up that cornbread, but I need to get some more milk and stuff. I'm gonna have to, oh, it's getting sticky. The more I tear into it, the stickier it's getting. There's so many good bread dough recipes out there. Dinner roll recipes. I want to try a new one this Thanksgiving. Oh, I can't remember what her name is. I saved it on my watch later list, and it's a big batch and seems to be a good one. But just pull it under. I'm not a professional. There. Well, I think I'll speed this up, guys, and then I'll bring you back when I have as many rolls as I can do made. So, giddy up. So I ended up getting 24 rolls, which is pretty good. This one, I'm trying to get them. I don't know how big they're gonna blow up because I've never done rolls with this, but 2 loaves of bread, 24 rolls. I'll clean up this mess. I'm gonna throw a clean tea towel over these, let them sit for a half hour to rise up, and then we'll start baking. All right, guys. Well, 7 minutes left for those to rise. They're looking good. I'm dying to peek under the towel, but I'm holding myself back. But I'm just getting the stuff out for the cornbread that I'm going to make after. I'm going to let the eggs and the butter, well, it's margarine. I am picking up butter, but I had frozen margarine in my deep freezer when I raided my freezers, and I left them in there. So I'm just trying to use them up, and it's all good. Same with that vegetable oil and white sugar. I'm going to use them, and they're good for bacon, and that's what I'm doing. But I'm going to let the butter, I'm going to call it butter, come up to room temperature, so it's better. I got out my cornmeal and stuff. I'm going to start the dishwasher. Yeah. Just talked to my mother-in-law. She's coming up here in a little while. She's probably leaving her place around noon, she said. So she's going to come here, and then I'm going to drive her to a friend's house that lives around here. Her friend's canning this morning, so she wants to go there this afternoon. And I'm hoping around that time I can lay Evie down, so when I drop her off, I can zip to town. We'll see. It's not the end of the world. I need the stuff at the store for tomorrow. I don't even need it for today, but I just don't want to try to get into town tomorrow because of this war frat rallies going on, and town is probably hectic enough as it is today, but tomorrow is going to be out of this world, and I don't want to go into town. When I go down to this barbecue tomorrow, I'm taking the back way. The dirt road's the back way. It'll be smooth sailing, so. Oh, he's always pulling on that curtain. But yeah, so I'll wait for her to get here. We're going to stick those in the oven. They won't take very long to make. And they'll hopefully be out by the time she gets here. And then we can move forward. All right, friends. I rested about a half hour. They've risen nicely. We'll check these. Ooh, they look good. Look good. So I'm going to set the temperature for 375 from a cold oven, and I'm just going to put it on for 15 minutes first, and then we might have to do it for another 10 minutes. So, well, I'll put it on for 12 minutes. Yeah, that's what I'll do. So I'm going to get these in the oven, and I'll bring you back when we rotate the pans. All right, while that bread's in the oven, I'm going to make a box of this for supper tonight because I bought 2 packages of chicken drumsticks yesterday, and I'm thinking they can have some pasta salad and some sliced vegetables to go with their supper tonight because I'm going to get those chicken drumsticks in the oven after. Oh, this is smoking. Must be something on the burner. But yeah, I'll get this going. This will only take a few minutes, and we'll rotate that bread when the time is up. Friends, everything happened all at once. The water came to a boil and the timer just went off, so I rotated the pans. I had 2 bread pans on top, and I rotated them. They're not brown yet, so I put them in for another 10. Oh, sugar! Another 10 minutes. I gotta put you guys down and do this. Yeah, I was liable to burn myself, but yeah. I put them in for another 10 minutes, and I'll check them then. I might have to put them in a little bit longer, like it says 20-25 minutes, and I just don't want them to be burnt on the bottom or anything like that, so I got to keep a really close eye on them. And yeah, the macaroni's in the pot, so, and my mother-in-law just called. She's just leaving now, so I'll probably put those chicken drumsticks in a little while, but for now, we're just doing what we're doing. All right, the macaroni's done. I'm just letting it cool. I rinsed it. I just had to rotate those bread pans again. They're not very brown at all. So I rotated them again another 10 minutes, and we'll keep an eye on it. All right, it fit perfectly in this container. I'm going to put it in the fridge. I got the pan out that I'm going to put the chicken on. And yeah, waiting on that bread. I hope it turns out. Oh, for goodness sakes, I hope it does. All right, I washed up the chicken. I seasoned it with just that Montreal chicken spice. This is going in as soon as the bread comes out. I'm going to turn it down to 300, so it'll take, drumsticks don't take long to cook anyways, but it won't take, I won't feel like I have to stick right around. I have like an hour or so to get a few things done. And yeah, so these will go right in. Alright guys, I took the bread out. It sounds hollow. We'll see, and I left the buns in there for another 5 minutes because they weren't quite as brown as I like to see them. So I usually pop these right out, but I'm going to leave them for a minute just to let them rest, and then I'm going to pop them out and put them here. And then when I take the rolls out, I'll put the rolls on here. And yeah, I need to glaze them with butter too, so. Alright guys, I'm dying to take these out and see what they look like. Oh, I should put a towel underneath. And I usually put this piece of parchment paper just because the butter runs down. I usually wrap all my baked goods with a great big tablecloth, but I don't want to use one of my good tablecloths. I usually use the same one, and I think it went kaput, so we'll take it out and look at it. Oh, look at that. Perfect.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. See this one. This one isn't quite as brown. I might put this one back in actually. It's not that it's bad, it's just not quite as brown as I usually like it. I'll just put it back in for a few minutes. Those buns are about to come out. Cancel. Ooh. Watch out, Evie. You take it out there, babe. Oh yeah, these are done. Perfect. I'm going to stick this one back in just for a few minutes. There. You guys got to take a look at these. Look at that. Picture perfect.
Thank you.
They all came together. I'm going to glaze those with butter too. I just put that other loaf in for another 5 minutes. I think it was just all the rotating and opening and closing the stove. Just didn't go quite as perfectly timed as before, but that's okay. At least they're not burnt. And I mean, these loaves are going to be pretty much used for breadcrumbs anyways. These rolls are for Uncle Matthew's barbecue, and I'm making cornbread dressing.
Making bread for today.
Well, you guys can probably have one loaf of bread. The other loaf I'm using for the dressing. But yeah, I just make sure it's all glazed. I don't think you can overdo it because it just kind of runs off. And these buns are good and hot. It smells really good in here, you guys. Really good. I'm going to leave these buns right in this pan too, because I can just carry them down to the barbecue in this and we'll be good. I'll wrap up the trays. And that'll be that. Perfect. And I'm going to save this butter for when I make the cornbread because I need melted butter for that, I believe. So yeah, it's not going to go to waste. Perfect. I'll wait till that other loaf comes out. 3 minutes and I'll bring you back. I'm going to take it out. There's still a minute left, but I just don't want to overdo it.
Butter baby.
Oh, I know you're getting to be sleepy. I'm going to lay you down in a minute, babe. Oh, it's a little browner. That's better. Natalie wants to butter this one, so.
Butter.
Butter makes it better.
Butter.
Yeah, just that little little bit of difference. Browned it up more. That looks better. All right. Get it all over. The sides, the back, the bone.
I know you've made me do this before.
I know. Do it up, sister. And I'm going to cover. I have a couple of clean tea towels here. And yeah. Then we just need to make the cornbread after. Oh, I should put that chicken in here.
I'm an artiste.
There's the chicken. I'm going to get that right in the oven. I'm going to turn it down now.
Child.
I turned it down to 250, so it's going to cook. It's just going to cook slow.
There we go, Mom.
Because that's what I need. Thank you, Mally.
It's definitely not just butter poured.
I'm going to get these kind of... Oh, well, let me get a few photos first. And then we'll cover it up. Just a minute, guys. All right, there we have it. I used 2 towels for this. But yeah, I'm just going to leave them, set them, and forget them. The chicken's in the oven. The stuff's all ready for the cornbread. I'll get those 2 bread pans in the dishwasher and start that sucker up. But now I'm going to go lay Evie down for a nap. Alright friends, I got him down for a nap. My mother-in-law's here. It's 1 o'clock on the nose, so I'm turning that chicken down to 200. And I'm going to go drive her and then go to town and then come back. And he'll probably still be sleeping. That chicken won't be quite done. Maybe almost done. And it just all depends on the traffic going into town. So yeah, I'll bring you guys along either way. Alright, I made it to Superstore, so I'm going to go in. I remembered my list, so I'm proud of myself for that, because half the time I make a list and forget it. So, and the traffic wasn't too bad coming in, so that's good. That's good. I didn't have to wait in any lines or anything like that, but I'm going to go in and be quick about it. It's 1:38. My mother-in-law's friend came to pick her up, so I just chatted with her for about 15 minutes, and yeah, we'll go in and get this done. Alright guys, it's 2:27. I just got home. I'll show you what I got. I got 4 peppers. Luckily, celery was 50% off, so I got 2 of those. I got 3 cans of cream of celery. Oh no. 2 cans of cream of celery and 3 cans of cream of chicken. I meant to get 3 cans of cream of celery, but for some reason there was a cream of cheddar in my cart. Like it must have been on the wrong shelf, but I wasn't going to go back. But I'll probably only use 1 of these tomorrow. Maybe both. I don't know. We'll see. Got some milk. I bought these frozen diced onions because I have a half a bag in the freezer here, and it'll just save me chopping. And yeah, that's why I got them. A thing of hot Italian sausage. Oh, sugar. It's mild. For goodness sakes. Some more sage, some more poultry seasoning, some butter, some eggs, and some chicken breasts that I'm going to cook overnight in the slow cooker, so it'll be easy to shred. I won't do that now, but just before I go to bed, I'll put it in there, cook it on slow, and it'll be totally shreddable. Friends, it's 3:03. I took a little break. I'd picked myself up a coffee while I was in town. Had a little bit of a headache and stuff. I took a pill when I got home, and I had to get May some waffles, Misha a snack, and now I took these out. They're all done. I'm just letting them rest a little bit, and then I'll wrap them up or whatever. It'll be for supper. But over here, I pre-measured all the stuff for the cornbread, and I'm doubling the recipe. So I'm going to get you guys set up, and we'll make this together. Yeah, I had to make my own buttermilk because it's expensive to buy it in the store. Milk here, on average, is between, like, well, I think at the Superstore it's like $5.99, $6.99. If I was to buy it down to the store here in my little village, it's like $8.50 or something. I see people buy milk in the States and it's so cheap, but it's expensive here in Nova Scotia. Anyways, so what I do, I just measured out the milk that I need and put a good glug of vinegar in it. This has been sitting here for about 15 minutes, and you can see that it's kind of curdled up like buttermilk, and that's what I do. So anyways, I'll get you guys set up and we'll get this party going. Just trying to get myself together. I moved the bread and the buns over to the countertop. Oh, I think I dirtied all my wooden spoons, so I'll have one of these. Oh no, I got one. I got one. When I'm baking, I like to use my wooden spoons and stuff. Oh, so yes, this is from Cooking with Carolyn, and oh, you can kind of see me. I suppose it's more important that you see the bowl. But I doubled this recipe. So for the single recipe that she had, it's 2 cups of cornmeal, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, a half a cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, 3/4 teaspoon salt, 2.5 cups of buttermilk, a cup of vegetable oil, 5 beaten eggs, and 3 tablespoons of butter, which is for the pan that we put it in. So I doubled all that. I've only made corn like this dressing, I don't know, the past 3 or 4 years, like at Thanksgiving, and it's turned out every time. And I've never made a sweet cornbread where people would eat like the sweet cornbread. This is more for dressing. And yeah, there's sugar in it, but you don't taste any of the sugar in it. It's just to balance it out and stuff. So anyways, this is the cornmeal. I just thought it'd be easier to get it all pre-measured. This has the baking soda, the salt, and the 4 cups of flour. And I can just rinse those bowls out and put them away. Easy. This is the sugar. I'm going to do it the proper way and mix all the dry ingredients first. And then after, well, she said it's better to do it with a whisk. I keep meaning to pick up another whisk from the dollar store because this one's all janked up, but that's okay, it'll work. Oh, I should preheat my oven to 375. Let me do that. I think it's still warm, a bit warm from the chicken, but it's been off for about a half hour, so we'll get that puppy pumping again. Anyways, Evie's still sleeping. It's 8 after 3. And yeah, his mama works till 5 today, and she's going to come here and pick him up. Now, you make a little well. Yes. This is going to make a lot of cornbread, but what I think I might do is just freeze the cornbread. I might use my food saver just to make sure it stays as fresh as possible. And make my cornbread dressing when it's Thanksgiving time. So then combine dry ingredients with a whisk. Mix well, pour in wet mix, which is all of this stuff, in the well. Mix just until ingredients are combined and smooth. You don't want to overmix this. So this is going to be a big old bowl of stuff. That's the oil. That pretty much takes up the whole well. This is the milk. I hope I did this right. Seems like, ugh. I did the right, yeah. So that was 3 cups of milk, and this is 2 cups of milk. Let me start mixing this. I gotta add the eggs too. I suppose, she didn't do it, but I suppose we could have mixed all the wet ingredients in a big bowl and then mixed it in, but whatever. Let me get, you hear it snap, crackle, and pop like Rice Krispies. That's the eggs. Yeah, and that's another reason I needed a new whisk, because the handle comes off. Just want to make sure it's well combined, not clumps of egg here, there, and everywhere. So I want it all nice and smooth. I've never made a double batch before, but I'm assuming it'll work. So melt the butter in the 9x13 pan. I'm going to use those silver tinfoil aluminum pans, I should say. I reuse those when I can. Like for those buns pans, I'll reuse those. And I should be able to reuse these. I just wash them by, like the pans by hand. I don't stick them in the dishwasher or anything. And this is pretty much it. You just stick it in, bake it for 35 to 40 minutes until golden brown. But this might take a little longer because I'm doing a few pans and they're bigger pans than 9x13. So the cornbread might be thicker, like higher in height. You know what I'm saying? Depth. We'll see. But I should have melted that butter. I used that butter that I had melted earlier to glaze those buns and bread from Mace's Waffles. That's what he had, so I think that's mixed up good enough. So now I'm going to get that butter out, get the pans out, and we'll start loading the pans. So I'll be right back. Alright, I got 4 pans out. I'll see if I need more. And yeah, we're going to do this thing. I don't know whether I should just pick the bowl up and dump it in or what. Let me get a dish to put that on. Just in case I need to whisk a little bit more. And then I can get a spatula and get the rest of it out. This is all just going to be crumpled up anyway, so let me get a spatula. Ooh, it might be in the dishwasher. What are you getting, Allie?
Water.
Those are all, that needs to be emptied again, of course. Yeah, this will make 4 good-sized pans. Because it will puff up a little bit. And I'm going to bake them all at the same time, so I'm going to set the timer for 15-minute increments. And since I'm cooking 4 pans at once, it'll probably take an hour and a half or something, I would assume. We'll see. And then we'll be done with this. Now I want to try to chop up those vegetables and saute those all. I know when she made her sausage and cornbread dressing, she didn't do that. She just put them in raw. But then on another video over on the mouthful one, Tamika Rochelle, she did. And I personally like to saute vegetables before I put them in dishes. That's just how I do. But yeah, I'm going to put these on cookie sheets, I think. They'll just be easier to move around. We'll see if I can get them all in the oven. But yeah, I'll bring you back. All right, I got all 4 in the oven, all good. I'm going to empty the dishwasher and clean up those dishes. Won't be enough to start a load, but I want to clean out my sink and wipe the table, and then I can start chopping those vegetables and decasing those sausages. So I did set the timer for 20 minutes first, and then I'll take the ones on the bottom and put them on the top and flip them around, and the ones on the top on the bottom, and do the same. And we'll just keep going until they look to be done. All right, while that bread's in the oven, I'm going to start sauteing up some of these onions. I did clean my table off. I loaded up the dishwasher. It's not quite full, so I'm not going to turn it on yet. But I put a good hunk of butter in here, and I'm just going to do, it's a bag and a half of those frozen onions, diced onions. So, but I am making a lot of dressing, and whatever I don't use, I'll certainly use in some other kind of meal. But Now I'm going to decase those sausages and scramble that up. So yeah, let me get that out. I got that sausage all decased. 1 minute left to rotate those pans. And the onions are coming along. I have them up on high right now. But since they were frozen, of course, they're releasing some liquid and stuff. But I'm just not in a big rush. Oh, there's a piece of onion skin. It's fine. I'll just simmer these till it evaporates and all that stuff. Yeah, this will be a good dose of onions. I gotta get. Let me try this. Yeah, I gotta wait till this starts dancing a little bit and I'll be able to move it around. I'll break out my potato masher when it's half cooked and it crumbles up super easy. But that timer is about to go off, so I might as well do it now. So I don't have to listen to that stinking beep beep. Ooh, it's looking good. Just the one on the bottom. It's kind of going off to the side. You can see that. Well, maybe you can't. I'll get this here. This here, this big beast. Oh my Lord, I almost dropped one off the stove door. That would not be good. There. Cook time, I'll do another 20 minutes. There. Perfect. Yeah, this sausage, even though it's mild, will still have a lot of flavor. I just never thought of using Italian sausage for a dressing, but that's what she used, and I can't imagine it being bad. My son just took the van. He was going into town, brought his new skateboard he bought. I said, make sure you got your license, because, oh, there's my husband. I'll be right back, guys. All right, it's come along. My husband's done work for the day, so that's nice. I use this. I know you guys have seen it before, but I'm careful not to scrape the bottom of my pan, because it's, you know, one of those non-stick pans. I just break up the sausage chunks. It's easier than trying to do it with a spoon or anything. Just makes it crumble better. Ooh, smelling like onion and sausage. Then I got to do those peppers and celery and all the innards for the dressings will be ready, except for the chicken. But like I said, I'm going to do that overnight. And that'll turn out perfect. Then I just need to throw it together tomorrow. I guess we don't have to be down to the barbecue till like between 3 and 4, so I have all day to do it. But this will just save me stress and energy tomorrow, because I want to enjoy myself. Go down there, and I love big barbecues and potlucks. Well, potlucks with people that I know. Kind of paranoid sometimes when I go to potlucks that I don't know, because I don't know the people cooking. That sounds horrible, but it's true. But anyways, so I'm not going to hold myself to any eating standard tomorrow, that's for sure. I'm going to enjoy myself. The kids will be able to play with cousins and all that jazz. Whew. Yeah. These onions are going to take a little while because of all that liquid, but anyways, I'll bring you back when this is done, or if we have to rotate those pans again or whatever, but I'll bring you back. Guys, I've been busy. It is 4:34. I just did this celery up in the food processor. I used this dish, and I didn't use the cheese grater side, but the other side I do cabbage with. I was just tired of chopping, so it made like thin little things like this. So I'm gonna fry that up. That's the sausage. I'm just letting it cool down before I put it in the fridge, and that's all those onions. And I have chopped up all the green peppers, which I'm gonna do on this burner. I'll do the celery on that burner. And I took out 2 of those cornbreads. These 2 are done. They got a little brown around the edges, but that's okay. They're not burnt or anything. I sprayed these with cooking spray. She didn't do that, but I thought I'd spray them and put the butter in it because I didn't know how it would do in these pans. So that might be why. But I had to take 2 cornbreads out for the last 15 minutes so I could get them kind of browned on top. The other 2 are in there now. There's 2 minutes left. And those ones should be, they might need a little bit more. They're not quite as brown on top. We'll see. But yeah, doing good, doing good. So I'm going to get the greens going. And then pretty soon I'll have to start dishing out supper. But at least everything for supper is done. So I'll be back. All right, I'll put half a stick of butter in each of them because these are big pans with lots of veggies. Just spoke to my mother-in-law. I said, well, whenever you get here, there'll be supper ready for you. So I said, take your time and enjoy yourself. My husband fell asleep out there on the couch. He had a long day. A lot of driving and all that stuff. So some of these pieces are still kind of big, like just the way I can see, like that. I'll just cut up later. Now I just want to cook these so they're soft. And yeah. And then all of the prep for the dressing tomorrow that I can do tonight will be done. I just need to do that chicken. I'm really looking forward to our pot of tea tonight, which you guys will be seeing this after you see that, but just so you know, it's all the same day. Oh, and the day I should be getting off work in about 20 minutes. Evie's up now too, so I had to change him and all that kind of stuff, all that rigmarole. But yeah, anyways, I'll bring you back when this is done. I have containers all ready for these to go in, to cool down in, to put them in the fridge. And yeah, the bread and rolls are good enough. I can probably wrap those up now. And yeah, just waiting for the, oh, I put that cornbread back in for another 7 minutes. There's 4 minutes left. We'll see if they're brown enough for me after that. And yeah, then that will be all done. So not too bad for a day's work. Got lots of food baked and cooked and everything. So yeah, after these are done, I'm going to start dishing up supper for the kids. All right, friends, everything's all done. I need to finish letting these vegetables cool. I'm going to wrap up the buns and the bread. One of the bread loaves I'm going to leave out, but I'll just wrap it in a tea towel. I'm going to warm up the chicken drumsticks to go with supper tonight. And these cornbread, see, they got a little browner around the edges, but like I say, they're not burnt. They're not burnt, they're just nice and crispy, but that's okay. These are going to crumble just right. And I'm going to leave a couple of these out so it dries out a little bit because it just crumbles better. And this is almost cool enough I can put away. And the onions, but, well, the onions are still pretty warm. But the celery and peppers are really warm. But right now I'm going to cover all this just with like a tea towel so kids don't poke their fingers in it or anything. And I'm going to start dishing out supper. Right, here's the kids' supper. Just put a few carrot sticks with it and some macaroni salad, a couple of drumsticks. That's what's left. So my son can have some. My mother-in-law can have some. Medea could have some if she comes, or wants some when she comes. My husband can have some, whatever. But there's a few left, but the kids each get 2 for now. And yeah, that'll be it. I just put these, I'm not sealing these up right now. It's just I don't want them to get hot or sweaty or anything, but at least they're covered. And I wrapped that one loaf of bread in a tea towel and just covered those ones, the cornbread and that, until I decide what I'm going to do with it. So yeah. Alright friends, well it's 7:20 and I got supper mess cleaned up, got the table wiped off, everything's put away. I just turned a kettle of water on to boil because I'm going to have that teacup chat with you guys. I picked out a teapot. You would have seen this already if you've seen my mail call chit chat, but I just picked one at random. I've never used it before and I thought it was cute. So yeah, 7:20. Medea's not here yet, so I don't know if she had to stay late for work. You know, my mom's mind's running wild. Just a minute, I'll turn you around. She was only supposed to work till 5, but it is super busy, you know, weekend, so they might have got her to stay late, and maybe she can't message me because they're so busy. Maybe her phone's dead. Maybe she's dead in a ditch somewheres. That's the mind, you know, mommy's mind. You worry and worry and worry. Anyways, I messaged her and I called and left a message, so Effie's safe and sound. I'm just waiting to hear from her to make sure she's safe and sound. But yeah, sorry, I'm just venting, But the kids are all in good moods and everything. Oh, just a minute. Oh, I forget what I was saying. My husband's he's going out for a walk down to the garden or something, but I forget. We had a busy day. We got a lot done. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I will bring you guys along to the barbecue. Don't know if I will get that video up. Well, no. This video is going to go up on Saturday. It's Friday now. I'll get this up on Saturday, and then on Sunday you'll see the barbecue video, and so on and so on. Just because I doubt I'll have time to edit this long video today, if I'm doing my teacup chat one today. Are you following me? I know, it's zigzag all over the place, but yeah, it felt so good to get back into the baking swing of things, to get my hands into some dough and just feel the progression of, you know, baking and accomplishing things like that my family loves, and it feeds my family and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, I still plan on doing that baking marathon week or whatever, sometime in September. So this is just getting me warmed up. It really is. So anyways, I'm going to say peace, love, and happiness today and every single day. Please like, share, and subscribe if you so choose, but if not, that's okay too. I still love you. I still want all the happiness in the world from each and every one of you out there. I certainly do. I really, really honest and truly do. Yes, I do. You want to say hi, Maze?
Yeah.
Him and Evie are out there making an awful racket. Oh, that tea kettle is boiling. Shut it down. I gotta load up the teapot. Alright guys, so with that I'm going to say have a good night or have a good morning, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye! Boink.